Looking at Waterford, I mean, obviously a very, very comprehensive performance from them. 22 goals now in 7 games, I believe it is this year. I mean, extraordinary, really. I mean, they're averaging what 3-4 goals a game. I mean, they're just playing some of the best hurling really we've seen from any Waterford team. And they're going into that All Ireland series with a real chance. They're continuously bringing through new players. They've obviously got Porrick Mahoney, who's come back into the fold as well. What do you reckon? Could this be Waterford's year? I mean, obviously with Limerick, they're going to be favourites, and I know they had a poor enough league campaign, but it was the same last year as well. And I seen a tweet, interesting enough, earlier today from Buff Egan, who reckons that Waterford, Cork, and Clare are going to be the 3 teams that are going to come out of the Munster Championship. I mean, what would be your thoughts on that? Are Limerick maybe in trouble? Could Waterford be the ones to maybe take their crown this year?
You know what, in regards to Buffy, I've been behind him for so many of his opinions over the last few weeks. Like Joe Fortune was the Westmeath manager was actually complaining about him in the stands over the past few weeks as well. There was against Joe Fortune for Buffy there because he does so much for little games. But according to this opinion, like it's ludicrous. Limerick, like they weren't at their best in the league. They weren't at their best last year. They have an abundance of talent. And John Kiley was in the crowd on Saturday night. He'll be taking notes. And Paul Kinnock was beside him as well. So they will be taking notes and what to expect from these Cork and Waterford teams. I think Limerick, like a lot of people are saying, oh, Limerick will miss out on Munster, including Buff Egan. I think, oh my God, it's absolutely ludicrous. Are we just not forgetting they won the All Ireland 3 times over the last 4 years? They're considered as one of the best teams in hurling history since Kilkenny in that 2000s reign. Like, they're a very, very good side. I think it's a disrespect to Limerick at this stage. Maybe it's holding on to hope that Limerick could fall this year, a bit like Dublin in the football over the past few years. Like, I mean, it's ludicrous the way he said it. I think Limerick will top it or even for the second in this group with Waterford in the top 2. They're by far, I think, the best 2 teams in the country at this particular moment in time. And when you see Cork and Clare, like, I think it's going to be between them for third place, but according to that opinion, that is absolutely ludicrous. Maybe he's just begging for a few likes. I don't know what it is about this opinion, but or maybe he just hates Limerick with a passion. I've seen so many people say he hates them. So look, whatever it is, it's a ludicrous opinion. Limerick are going to shock everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if Limerick trounced Cork and Páirc Uí Chaoimh in the next few weeks. Like, not necessarily Cork are a bad team, but Limerick are a superb team. And people are forgetting that because of their league form. I think it's disrespectful to this Limerick team who have been brilliant over the last few years.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there as well. I don't know if he's putting that out there to try and wind Limerick fans up. Like, obviously he's a Kerry man, but I think a lot of people know he kind of is a second-hand Clare fan, like, let's be perfectly honest. So, I mean, I don't know if he's throwing that out there just to wind Limerick fans up. I'm not sure. But in terms of Waterford, I mean, as we were saying there, I mean, superb team, so much talent. I mean, how close could they get to Limerick, do you reckon?
Oh, it's going to be close. It's going to be very close, I think. Well, it depends on Limerick. Limerick doing well this year, in my opinion. The trouble with Waterford, they fall at the last hurdle over the last few years. But when you think about it, Galway were the much better team in 2017. Limerick were the much better team in 2020. Kilkenny were miles the better team in 08. So the last few finals weren't really Waterford's fault. This year, they have an absolutely outstanding team. And once they get in Austin Gleeson, Jamie Barron back into the team, they look an unstoppable force. And when you look Porrick Mahoney coming in, loads of the Bannyguller lads, Desi Hutchinson's, like, when you look at Desi Hutchinson, he didn't play well the other night and he still popped up with a goal. Patrick Curran is another young player coming up, Caherick Daly, Irla Daly, and of course, Tadhg de Búrca in the back as well. I think, like, he puts his body on the line. Like, there was an example of the first half of the other night. Like, there was, I think, 3 or 4 players around Alan Connolly when he was shooting the other night, and Tadhg de Búrca was fired up when he won the free out. Like, geez, he's an excellent player, and people seem to forget that because of the injury, the horrid injury he has in 2020. So, look, Waterford, they could get very close to Limerick. They have a very good team, and of course, the manager, Liam Cahill, one outstanding manager. And look, Tipperary will be, cursing their luck that they didn't manage to get him over the winter. He made the right decision to stick to Waterford, and look, Waterford could win the All-Ireland this year. They have a very good team, very good manager, tactically astute manager. But at the moment, like, they have a very good team, they have a very good manager, and they have very good form. But I think maybe keep your heads on the ground a small bit, because Tipperary will be coming to Walsh Park proving a point a small bit. Like, we were all saying Tipperary were very poor, like, but at the same time they have Mark Kehoe in the team, very good young player. Jake Morris and all them. Colin Bonner would love to stamp his authority in the Munster Championship, considering a load of people are just writing off Tipperary. And by the last few years, the lesson is, don't ever write off Tipperary, no matter how injury hit they are, and no matter how off form they are. They're still a serious prospect, and Waterford need to focus on that now before saying things about All-Irelands. But to answer your question about Limerick, they could get very, very close indeed. Now, I've said so over the last few years. Waterford are the second best team in the country, despite Cork or Kilkenny's form over the last few weeks.
Yeah, like I think when you see like the level of improvement with Waterford, like obviously you've seen a bit of improvement with Cork last year, but there does still seem to be an issue with the defence. And obviously, as you were saying there, like no Shane Kingston, no Jack O'Connor. Like, it's interesting that some of the changes obviously that Kieran Kingston is making into that Cork team. There was actually a tweet from Michael Verney there that he put up on Twitter there the other day. I was discussing it yesterday in the fan reaction show, which some of you lads can check out on YouTube if you haven't already. And he was saying here, all 4 Waterford goals hit into the ground before rattling the net. Definitely something that has been coached into them by Cahill and Beavens. So difficult for a keeper to save, and a lesson to all forwards. Top corner looks great, but don't give the goalie a chance. And it actually is a great point. And I even went back and watched some of Waterford's goals throughout the league, really. And there does seem to be quite an element to that. And even when you look at Waterford as well, like, they actually tend to shoot quite a lot on sight from distance, even from 15 to 20 yards out. So you wonder, is that a tactic maybe that Waterford are going for, in terms of if they come up against a Limerick, like maybe they might be 20 yards out, 15 yards out, and they're saying, look, we have the players here that can shoot for goals. And that could be maybe something that Waterford are looking at to possibly catch Limerick out this year.
And judging by the stats and judging by that tweet, looking back at the game as well, it's definitely working for Waterford, this kind of tactic. And you've probably been taught that from a younger age. I know I've been certainly taught that from a younger age. At my club, we're not really a hurling, West Cork's not really a hurling stronghold. But anyway, we've been taught that from a young age. If you hit us down on the floor, it'll bounce over the goalkeeper and it'll generate more speed on the slitter. Like, Waterford are doing that expertly at the moment. And if they keep doing that going into the championship, like for example, I think Cork maybe had 3 or 4 goal chances. We only took 1 at the end when it didn't matter. Waterford had 4 goal chances forward and back of the net. Like, that just shows you what. And you even look at their efficiency even for points as well. I think it was well over, I think I have to look back at it now, but I think it was over 80%, maybe over 70, but still over 70 in this magnitude of a game is absolutely outstanding. And I think Liam Cahan and Bevins are doing something right in the training ground. They must be, considering the amount of goals they're getting, averaging 3 or 4 a game. Like, that is impressive tally from them. And they're doing every single game. They scored 5 against Wexford. They scored 4 in this game. They scored 7 against Laois. They scored another few against Antrim. Like, Waterford are hitting goals left, right, and centre. And judging by the analysis there, great analysis there in that tweet, Waterford will be definitely a threat to Limerick if they get goals in their game. Like, even if the points are going against them, if they shoot well in a game, in a tight game, they'll most likely come out winning in that game. So all they need to do really is to battle well and give 100% in every game. I know it's easier said than done, obviously, but if they do that and they keep the conversion rate up, who knows, Waterford could see their first All-Ireland since 1957, I think.
Thank you very much for watching this clip of the very most recent podcast uploaded on the channel. If you do enjoy this content, please leave a like and subscribe so you're notified every time I do drop a new upload. And it does very much help the channel grow and help the channel reach more people. So I very much would appreciate if you could leave a like and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below what you thought of the video. You can also follow the page on Instagram, and you can also follow on Facebook, Twitter, Spotify. You can follow on all social media platforms as well. So if you're not already followed over there, go go over there and give the page a follow to help the channel grow as well. So I do very much appreciate anyone tuning in, and I'll see you all later.